We have a very bizarre story today. Before I get to that, I just want to remind you that I have a second channel called The Jobber Journal. It's just like Rockfeed except for pro wrestling and MMA news. Click the link in the description and verify you subscribed, and you'll be entered to win a pair of brand new AirPods Pros, and we will announce the winner of that later this month. Anyways, let's check out the story. Kanye West recently released his album, Jesus is King. For those of you who don't listen to him, it was a gospel record. I'm going to explain why this pertains to rock and metal in just a second. But the album was very successful, but it was a departure from his previous style. He didn't use any profanity on the record, and he even reportedly demanded that people working on the record not engage in any premarital relations. I have to watch out for those YouTube bots. So people know now that Kanye goes against the mold. He's willing to basically try anything, and there are people who also believe that while he's not tweeting regularly or going on those late night rants like he is known to do on occasion, people certainly believe that he has dummy accounts, and he very much pays attention to what is being said about him, as many public figures do. And so there are people saying that if enough people say Kanye can't do something, then he most certainly will do that. And the concept has taken off in a very viral way as it pertains to heavy metal. This thread took off and went on fire yesterday on Reddit with over now 42,000 likes on just one of the posts. It's been duplicated a couple times. Another post got over 70,000 likes, but this was the original post posted on Reddit. Someone said, if the entire internet started saying that Kanye West couldn't make a heavy metal album, we could probably get him to make a heavy metal album eventually. And that took off absolutely. Kanye West has even used heavy metal logos, like this picture of him wearing his Yeezus hat with similar font type to the Metallica logo, which caused a stir back then. He has also worn band tees from time to time, as have members of the Kardashian family. He is obviously married to Kim Kardashian, for those of you who don't know. And so there were people who were like, you son of a bitch, I'm in. And everybody pretty much agrees with this notion now at this point that Kanye West needs to make a metal album. Now here is the other post. Someone wrote, as the title states, Kanye is not a talented or versatile enough artist to create a heavy metal album. Heavy metal is leaps and bounds out of reach of Kanye's musical talent, and he should never attempt to even make one. So there's a lot of reverse psychology going on here, and it begs the question, what would a heavy metal Kanye album sound like that he obviously is totally incapable of making and could never make in his wildest dreams? So why even try? He's too afraid. The funny thing is here though is that people seem to seriously want to hear Kanye West make a heavy metal album. I know that some of you may not want to hear that, but Kanye making a metal album might make heavy metal one of the most popular subgenres, and maybe he takes some bands out and they can really make a crazy good living, and that's good for the entire genre. Plus, I think it would be interesting. You don't have to listen to it. Nobody's forcing you to listen to it, but I would listen to it because I like a lot of Kanye's earlier music, and I think he's an interesting person with a lot of big ideas, and he does from time to time say stuff that makes a whole lot of good sense, particularly when he's talking about fashion or tech and things like that. He's a big dreamer, but you've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 likes on these posts of people saying that they basically want Kanye to make this heavy metal album. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of engagement, which then translates to a lot of interest. Kanye marches to the beat of his own drum, but it would be very, very interesting, this many people demanding it, to hear Kanye West put together a metal record and see how that will transpire. Now, what do you think a heavy metal album from Kanye would sound like, if anything? I will tell you, I think that what you would see is probably him sampling a lot of older metal material and probably exposing a lot of younger people to that. And you could see him working with some producers who can play really well and it might actually turn out to be pretty good because it's probably going to be a big budget album. And generally speaking, big budget albums do have good music on them. Even if you talk about the Chinese Democracy from Guns N' Roses, there is good material there. So again, let me know what you think this would sound like. And again, it's not going to happen because he just doesn't have it in him. So why even ask? He can't do it. He can't do it. Anyways, that is all for now. Thanks so much for joining us here today at Rockfeed. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.